This is healthy. Remember, this is freeze-dried, dehydrated, and so you don't have that elevated sodium. You don't have the any of that filler. These are real vegetables, real fruit. Even the real shape. I mean, you can recognize this food. It's the real deal. So I love that this is healthy for you, where you don't have to worry about the sodium and all of that, which you do have to worry about in cans.
Exactly.
And, you know?
The health factor certainly more elevated here than from canned food. And then the other thing you worry about with cans is you worry about the fact that they expire. Have you ever looked at a can?
Have you ever seen one swell up? That's scary.
That is scary. If you've ever opened a can of something that is expired, that's beyond scary. It's disgusting. Yeah. So here you are getting 25 years of shelf life.
That's
so
amazing.
When we start to do the math, we are talking about the Wise Emergency Food 158 serving bucket. So that is 11 different lunch and dinner entrees like the cheesy mac that we're putting together now. All you do is add water. You do not have to use hot water. We are doing this on a burner simply so it reconstitutes a little more quickly, and that way we can do some more tasting. But in an emergency, tap water, room temperature water, water you pulled out of your bathtub, as long as it is drinkable, potable, and safe, it does not matter the temperature of the water. You do not have to cook this food.
Now, what are you making here?
This is a cheesy mac.
Okay, the cheesy mac. And
you know where I like this? Have you ever read the back of the blue box cheesy mac?
Yes.
That has more chemical names than I ran into in chemistry class in high school.
Yeah. You can't even pronounce them.
You know, and it scares me that we've probably all at one point in time fed that to our families.
Because when you have kids, you do things quickly.
So there's the difference. When you look at the ingredients of a cheesy mac from Wise, it is not the chemicals that are keeping this shelf stable for you. It is the packaging. That is the biggest difference with Wise in general. We are not counting on chemicals. We are not counting on preservatives. The packaging keeps it safe. The chefs put together this amazing recipe.
That's why it's so good.
So that cheesy mac tastes great.
It's so good.
But it is the packaging that keeps it safe.
And Stephanie explained it very simply that this packaging, it prevents that humidity, right?
Humidity and
prevents the oxygen.
So
that's when you're asking, because I was like, this is too good to be true. I would be thinking the same thing of you. How could something last for 25 years? I'm not going to eat that. You can actually eat this. Trust me, this is a customer pick. We have sold so many of these. If you have the number, Rick, my producer, give me the number, because it's in the hundreds of thousands. Yeah, the total number, but we've sold 700, you know, just since talking, but I'm talking about since we first started showing Wise Company, we have sold hundreds of thousands, and it's because it's quality food, it's made by chefs, and it's healthier, and it's simple, and it's convenient. Over 200,000 emergency meal kits sold since the launch in April of 2014. Over 200,000.
And that makes me so happy, because that's people thinking about their families, their future.
Being prepared.
Being prepared. You know, we sell so many things here on HSN that I love to buy. I mean, I'm a huge shopper.
Oh, me too.
And so we know about the shoes, the purses, the bags. But this is something we can almost say you have to buy. You have to feed your family.
You do. You have to eat.
When you look around at how prepared your family is, should anything happen, should it be a weather emergency, should it be a financial emergency?
Sure.
You know, there are times, to borrow a phrase from Marlo, who I love to quote, where there's more month than money.
Oh,
you know, if you're in a situation where the paycheck isn't stretching, how great is it to know that you can put off going to the grocery for a few weeks?
And the winter storms
aren't stopping this year. We're in the midst of our 4th nor'easter in March alone. So March has had, I just saw this, more road and plane issues this year than we have in years and years and years. You know, so you never know what's going to happen. 2017 brought so many unwelcome surprises to so many different parts of the country. Exactly, but here's what you control. You can control being ready. This is a look at severe weather occurrences in the past year. Now, obviously, the eastern 2/3 gets a little bit more pounded by uncertain weather. But when I start to think about the things that do happen in the West, things like wildfires, talk about a time where if you could grab and go with food. I mean, my heart breaks when I see the stories about how quickly life changes when you're threatened by Western fires. Again, this is a waterproof, a bug-proof, sturdy bucket with 158 servings of food inside. That breaks down to 70 cents a serving for amazing tasting food. These are recipes written by chefs. This is one of my favorites. This is the Southwest rice and beans.
I'm from Texas. I love Southwest.
You'll like this one. one. All I do is add water. It does not even have to be hot water, and I walk away. This food will reconstitute by itself. Yes. With warm water, and this is why we do have it on burners tonight, it'll reconstitute in 5 minutes. Stone cold, this will reconstitute.
I'm ready to taste something else. but while she's putting it up there, you should just know that if you've been thinking about this, just do it. It's peace of mind. I went through that horrible ordeal, if you're just joining me, with Hurricane Irma, just moving to Florida. I waited because everybody said it wasn't going to happen. Right. Just wait. And then when I got to the grocery store, everything was sold out, and we had to get on the road and drive a few hours, and I just didn't know, are we going to run out of gas? What are we going to eat? My child is not going to eat sardines, and that's what I had. I had sardines and tuna, and he was crying. It's just not a good situation. If you have a loved one who lives alone, get this for them. This is a wonderful gift of peace of mind, because should they get sick or they can't, no one can get to them because of the weather, because that happens a lot. You're worried about your mom or your grandmother because of, you know, these big storms, you can't get to them. So get this home for $22. And just think about this. If you were to just order this, say you're thinking about it, you're on the fence, you don't know how it tastes, I'm telling you, it's delicious. It's delicious for the type of food that you can add just water. No, it's not a big steak meal that you'd get at a steakhouse. It's not that type of food, but it is delicious, edible food in a crunch. It's better than what you get in the can, and it's better than what you get with those frozen meals. So just get a pouch home and try it. It's free shipping. You can return it. We have that money back guarantee. This is $109, and these are chefs. These are trained chefs who've come up with these delicious, flavorful meals, and the packaging is so important.
That's right, because this packaging is what they've called, it's been done in a modified atmospheric environment, which means they've created a package that shuts out humidity, it shuts out oxygen. Those are things that make food go bad, as you know from your own kitchen and fridge on a weekly basis. So Wise has been able to come up with a package that keeps fruit, that keeps protein, that keeps Southwest rice and beans safe, shelf stable for you for up to 25 years. I know it sounds crazy, but the taste is there, and Wise has put the technology here. This is the technology that's keeping it shelf stable. The chefs have made the great recipes. It's great so stuff. That you can figure it out.
I'm ready to taste some more.
Okay, I'm going to try to give this one more second here.
Yeah, if you were to go to Wise's website, by the way, this would be nearly $400. So it would be crazy not to get it for $109.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you to try it just for peace of mind, because this crazy weather is not going anywhere. Everybody has something. I don't know if it's the winter storm, if you're living in the East Coast right now, or even Alabama with the tornadoes that just hit. If you're living in the tornado alley, you know that you may have those situations where the electricity goes out. So just get prepared. It's the worst feeling in the world when you're not prepared. And I'm one of those loosey-goosey, go-with-the-flow people.
I know, me too. I used to be, not anymore.
After the hurricane, honey,
yep, you learned.
I will be prepared.
Well, and here's the thing. You know, when you're talking about preparedness, you just kind of have to think about what's the need in your family. With 158 servings, you are so incredibly covered, whether you're a family of one, whether you're a family of four. There is a taste for everyone. There is a flavor for everybody. And it's just the ultimate feeling that you know you've made this great decision to bring this into your home. You know, I'll be honest, I'll admit I'm a big shopper. There's purchases that you make that you feel a little guilty about. You do. This is a purchase where you feel amazing about, because you know you filled a need. And here's the thing, so
often,
often,
a pair of shoes that you don't need.
So often we wait till the 11th hour. Don't wait until the storm is coming. Do this now so that you can sit back and worry about other things when the storm is coming. Okay, you were talking about wanting to taste something. I have to show you one of my favorite tricks with Wise. Okay. So this is included in our 158 servings. This is vanilla pudding, right? Ooh. It looks like, okay, fine, we all know how to make pudding. Well, I don't know. You know, pudding just sort of tastes like, if it's not, in my mind, cooked over the stove.
Oh, I smell
with
that
the egg yolks.
From
okay,
here.
There you go. High quality vanilla spice. All I'm doing is adding water. I don't need an electric beater to do this. You can do it with a fork if you want. But within moments, the most amazing, and I cannot wait for your review, pudding comes to fruition. And again, this is just more about how Wise has figured out the technology to make great tasting food simple. You don't have to wait for a hurricane to make teriyaki rice.
That's right.
You know, when you have it in your home and it tastes great. You want to do it whenever you need to. You don't have to go through a big elaborate cooking process.
It could be a busy
to bring
day.
food home. And you know what I have learned by the fact that this is a customer pick? You're eating this. If it wouldn't be a customer pick if you weren't eating it. You know, read the reviews. They all talk about the great taste. And we're going to dish you some of that.
Absolutely. Where's that fruit? Can somebody bring me some of that fruit over there?
She's going to top it.
Can I sprinkle some of that fruit? Because we have wonderful fruit that we're selling as well.
So scoop yourself a little of that. Look at the consistency within like a minute and a half.